The XRP news that I'm about to go over with you is going to shock or definitely surprise most investors around the world, but they don't know it yet. The investors I'm referring to are people that do not own XRP. The stories that I'm about to tell you and talk about, these aren't stories, these are facts. This is really happening. Won't surprise XRP investors because they think a little differently. But you've probably noticed that I've had to pivot the last few weeks because of the most incredible news coming out because of XRP, about XRP. And by the time it hits $4 or $5, you'll probably see me go silent about it again because it's going to be on auto cruise. But this story, these news stories have to get out. I've got a lot of them, and I've got a price valuation that, quite frankly, will blow your minds. But when you think about it, and I'm going to bring you some real life examples of stocks that have went up, similarly, it will make a lot of sense. So the first story is out of the Crypto Basic. It says Bitstamp says XRP will make history next year. How many of you use Bitstamp? That was one of my first exchange accounts back in 2017 for buying XRP specifically. Type Bitstamp if you actually used it. I'm just curious. I don't know how many people use it these days. Bitstamp, the world's longest running crypto exchange, has issued a bold, promising outlook for XRP as 2024 wraps up. In a Friday tweet, the exchange boldly stated that XRP will make history in the crypto market in 2025. The tweet from Bitstamp quickly went viral in the community, crypto community, with the XRP army cheering in support for a promising outlook. Although Bitstamp did not explicitly specify the achievement it hopes XRP will attain by 2025, the most likely guess is related to its price. Aside from price, other milestones expected in 2025 related to XRP include the conclusion of the Ripple lawsuit and the launch of the ETFs. So when an exchange comes out and says something like that, it's actually a big deal because they don't want to be known for being wrong, right? Just like a bank CEO. Well, I got more stories to share with you. Check this out. And then I want to bring this home some really good logic because I actually just picked up a coffee at Dutch Brothers, and I was talking to the young men and women in there about crypto, and they said it doesn't make sense. And so I said, watch, I can convince you about why Bitcoin's valuable in 30 seconds. And they let me do their spiel, and you could see all their mouths drop when I talked about consensus and how many will ever be mined and how it can't be broke because all the computers are talking to each other and why that brings value. And they said, well, it's just like stocks. And I said, no, stocks you can print into oblivion. And I gave the example of Apple. You know, I owned a lot of Apple back when it was $60. And since then, it's split like 5 times. So the fact is, it just keeps getting diluted and diluted as they make profits, right? Or do they? Amazon, the truth is, Amazon ran a negative balance sheet for so many, I mean, it was the greater part of 2 decades. And it was an anomaly, right? But it really wasn't. A lot of companies do, and it's all pure speculation. Well, when you have an asset class that has a fixed amount, like Bitcoin, like XRP, and as far as Bitcoin, it's getting harder and harder to mine it. XRP, it's actually going away. It's disappearing every day as transactions get stronger and stronger. Every transaction, a little bit of it gets destroyed. People can't comprehend this stuff. They're used to the legacy financial system, and that's what they keep comparing it to, and it's absolutely not. So here's another story right here. How high can XRP surge if SBI allocates 20% of assets to XRP reserve? We talked about this yesterday. SBI, if they set up a deal where they start buying up XRP on the open market, and I gotta stop and say, I saw a comment where someone goes, well, they better buy it at a lot higher price than it is now. You know, there are people even that own cryptocurrency that are extremely confused. Type 1 if you agree with this. There are people that go, oh, companies are gonna buy back XRP, or Ripple's gonna buy back XRP at $20 or $50. They're delusional. Look, I'm gonna tell you something right now. For anyone that thinks that's gonna happen, you bought into a pile of fantasy by some YouTuber that doesn't have his head screwed on straight. So type 1 if you agree with that. And I'm not joking, because you got to watch everybody that's typing this, because how the real world works is, if I'm going to go buy something, I'm going to get it at the best price possible. Sometimes that's over the counter through big exchanges like Coinbase. I don't know if you know that's how it works. When they charge you fees, they build it up and they sell it off in blocks. But if they buy it on the open market, hey, it's only going for $2.20 today. I'm going to pay that. I'm not going to go out there and say, hey, I'm going to wave a fairy wand and ride in on a horse and say, hey, I'm part of a bunch of black knights or white knights that started some group, during the Crusades. We put a bunch of gold bullion together, and now we're gonna buy back your XRP at $50. I mean, that's no joke. That's how some people believe, and they're delusional. And I'm saying that not in an insulting way. I want to wake people up to snap out of it. Okay, this is not how it works. That's actually a doctrine of demons trying to keep a lot of people lazy. Ooh, I didn't mean to go on that tangent. All right, here we go. Squirrel. Prominent AI chatbot ChatGPT expects the price of XRP to skyrocket to a 2-digit figure if SBI allocates up to 20% of its assets to an XRP reserve program. Good news. We don't need ChatGPT to tell us that crap. Anyone can figure that out. If SBI starts buying up XRP and storing it away, means there's a smaller float, less available for people to buy, prices are going to go up. It says here, bullish sentiments have enveloped the XRP community following a proposal by GAM Investments urging SBI Holdings to implement a strategic XRP buyback plan. I completely back this idea up. I think it's amazing. This proposal, disclosed in a document addressed to SBI Holdings and its CEO, suggests using a portion of SBI's assets to bolster XRP holdings. This would be akin to what's going on with MicroStrategies, and it would be way more impact. There would be, to think about it, XRP has been sitting like a coiled spring for 5.5 years. This would be so much more powerful than what happened with the ETFs during Bitcoin's deal, or what MicroStrategies did. Oh, here we go. This is the last story, and then we get to this, why this price makes sense. I know this is going to sound crazy. Do me a favor really quick. Give me your wildest, crazy, but in your mind logical price that XRP could hit in 20 years, and figure that, let's say, 25% of all world transactions, currency transactions from governments and banks, are running on that. Give me your craziest price. Before I type this in, I want to see what your prices are, because I guarantee you none of you are going to come close to this. I let the cat out of the bag. And then I'm going to show you a list of stocks that have gone up similarly, okay? All right. See a lot of 10,000s. All right. The story's out of Binance Square. And do me a favor real quick. Just hashtag XRP if lately you've just been pumped, even with that price pullback that I explained was going to happen, and it hasn't stressed me out. It's healthy, but it's the whole market pulling back. Just type XRP if you guys are pumped. You're looking at your bank accounts. You're like, I'm pretty pumped. It says here, collateralization model suggests XRP's theoretical value at $130,000. Let that sink in for a second. $130,000. That sounds absolutely crazy. Sounds crazy, right? But again, we are dealing with an asset that banks are going to need to move money. This is, as of right now, the first and only regulated, been through the ringer with the government and smacked the government back, cryptocurrency that's used for bank-to-bank transactions. Okay, so there's no one to compete with it. That's just the truth. You can find some white paper out there from some other company going, "Oh, I'm going to do it." No, as a matter of fact, I've already identified one that I think is going to try. They're not going to do it, but I think the hype around it's going to cause the price to explode. Okay, so here we go. Let's dive into, and I'm going to show you these stocks and what they really open your mind to some really crazy things. A revolutionary valuation model from Vahil Capital positions XRP at a staggering theoretical fair market value of 130,000, highlighting its potential role in a tokenized global economy. Despite XRP's recent success surpassing the $2 price mark, and I know you're like, there's no way, dude, it's $2. It ain't going to 130 grand. Stand by. I'm going to show you some examples. Showing impressive performance over the last 6 weeks, analysts argue the asset remains undervalued. Several factors, including market suppression and the current lack of tokenization infrastructure, contribute to this disparity. And there's still a lot of things being added on, with the Flare networks continually working to bring smart contracts to XRP. So I don't think people realize that. Everyone's running over to Ethereum, and Ethereum's great. It's got smart contracts. A bunch of people jumped on during the 2017 ICO craze. I did. And that's exciting. But I think that was the beta model. I'm not joking. I think you're going to see, because Ethereum is so much slower. It's had to go through so many upgrades and then move from proof of work to proof of stake. XRP, I do not think is going to have that issue. And I think once you see smart contracts roll on a parallel chain, a side chain to XRP, I think you're going to see a lot of things change. Now, it says here, last year, Valhill Capital, a leading venture capital firm, developed multiple valuation models to assess XRP's true potential. Among these, the collateralization model stands out, projecting an astonishing value of 130,000 for XRP under a future scenario where global financial assets are fully tokenized. And I believe that is 100% going to happen. A lot of this is going to be because of trade wars. Countries do not trust each other, right? If you believe we're in a trade war, type yes. If you believe we're or a currency war and a trade war, type yes. If you don't think we are, type no. But I'm going to tell you what, I believe that most of you agree that we are there. And once you know that, you really know it. It's more than learning about it on the evening news, right? When you know it inside, you act differently. You position yourself differently. You totally do things different, which is great, because that's when you start making a crap ton of money. So it says, this model envisions a world where all asset classes ranging from real estate and derivatives to central bank reserves and commodities are digitized on blockchain platforms like the XRP ledger. XRP would serve as a primary token to collateralize these tokenized assets, becoming the backbone of a new financial system. Ripple's CTO David Schwartz has hinted at this vision, emphasizing the XRPL's shift towards real-world asset tokenization. The collateralization model is built on this premise. Now, I want to tell you something that no one's going to tell you this either. And this is probably the reason why I didn't get asked to go to the XRP or Ripple conference. It's interesting. It still blows me away. Most of their speakers didn't own XRP. It really pissed me off, to be honest with you. They're like gold and silver people. I'm like, why wouldn't you? Whatever. But this is why, because people like me would open their mouth and say, I know, I can't say it. Okay. I want to talk to David Schwartz personally offline before I talk about something specific. And the reason why is, see, Ripple knows they don't want the price to go up right now. And this is crazy to most people. This will blow people's mind. They don't want the price going up because they want to sell the banks on all of the things that Ripple is going to develop for XRP, right? And how the banks are going to benefit. But also, they want to show them, hey, and if you get in now, look at the price. It used to be a tenth of a penny. Now it's 50 cents. Now it's $2. See, this is how Ripple can also sell banks. They're going to make money multiple different ways using XRP to move money instead of the Swift system. They're going to have transparency between them and another bank. They're going to have transactions that happen within 3 seconds that are verified on a blockchain. They're going to have, to say cheaper transactions is an understatement, right? We're talking about like 1/100th of the cost of today's normal transactions in the banking realm. And then they're also going to be able to make money on, if they buy up a bunch of XRP now and store it because they need it to use it for these transactions, that the value of that XRP goes up, which also bolsters their balance sheet. The thing is, nobody really gets this. And that's why Ripple doesn't come out and say, look at all the crap we're going to do, because they want to under promise and over deliver. And the banks know this. And the thing is that right now, all of these banks are purchasing XRP as the escrow releases it. They sell it to a bank. The bank puts it on a brand new cold wallet. We see this on the blockchain. I'm seeing them get bigger. I used to have a lot of clout on the XRP rich list. Now it's like, it's hard to keep up. Although, at least I'm still ahead of Dave Portnoy. But here, check this out. I'm going to show you something here down below. Let's do this. Hey, Dave, how you doing? All right, I got something to show you. These are stocks with 30-year total returns, right? And we're gonna throw out the example of $10,000. That's actually what I started with in 2017, when Ripple was 2 cents. And so I'm going to show you this, and then what we're going to do, or not Ripple, XRP, and I'm going to show you how these things grow. So Nvidia, everybody knows Nvidia, right? It's gotten real famous because of crypto. 30-year total return, $10,000 has went up 322,000%. Of course, this thing cut off my what's it called? Standby. Let me see if I can pull this thing up in real. There we go, the real website. So it's a list. I want to go over this list with you just to give you some ideas, right? Amazon Incorporated, right? Everybody was making fun of Jeff Bezos trying to sell books online. Who would have thought that if you would have taken $10,000, it would now be worth $24 million because it's went up 249,000%. Think about that. So here, again, NVIDIA, $10,000 has now turned into $32 million. I think that you're going to see people in this group right here worth $32 million in XRP in the next 3 years. We're not going to name names, but you guys know who you are. Monster Beverage Corp went up 164,000%. Apple, you know, I was talking about Apple. They like to split stocks, right? 88,000%. You know, most people don't understand the idea of splitting stock. It's a psychological thing. The C-suite execs know it. Hey, are stocks too expensive? It's $100 a share, and poor people can't afford to buy a $100 share, but they can buy a $50 share. And so they think they're getting it at a deal, but they're not. The market cap didn't change. When they doubled the amount of stock and dropped the price by half, the market cap stayed the same. But a bunch of poor people ran out and bought $50 Apple stock. This is how it really happens. It's no joke. But you want to say why this is so different, blockchain so different? Because you're not sitting there looking at the profits of a company. You're looking at what the company's doing and what the need for that blockchain is going to be, the driving force for people wanting to buy it. And then what's happening to the total amount. You know, forever people are like 10 billion Bitcoin or whatever, 100 billion Bitcoin. Oh, it's too much. Like you had no idea you're being fooled by the banks this whole time. They're like, hey, make 100 billion of them and they're going to think it's worthless while we use them to beta test our program. I'm not joking. For the greater part of, or for a decade, Ripple has been using all of us as guinea pigs. And I'm just saying, thank you, Ripple, because they wanted to see everybody buying it, moving it around on transactions and all that stuff, you know, making that system better so that they could sell this to the banks. And now what the banks are doing, and it's amazing, like just what happened the other day with Bitcoin, where the Federal Reserve comes out and says, Jerome Powell goes, we're not looking to buy Bitcoin anytime soon. Well, it's because they can't. Captain Obvious just told the world the truth, and the world went, oh my gosh, sell our Bitcoin. Donald Trump wants the Treasury to issue currency. This will be historic. This is like John F. Kennedy stuff. Like, I'm not joking. Like when John F. Kennedy goes, oh, your crappy dollar, let's back it with silver. Let's make a silver certificate. And you know, this is what's going to hurt everybody. The reason why he was killed, what's the first thing that they did after he was dead? What's the first thing they did? Seriously, the ink wasn't even dried on his morgue report, and they're repealing that silver certificate. That's how you know. Guys, type 10 if you understand that and agree with that. Type 11 if you never contemplated that. Like the whole time, hey, the shooter was from behind, even though the back of his head is gone. You know, we are in the most incredible time right now to be investors. Like right now, anybody, I'll put a link down below to that, the two exchanges I use to buy XRP. You could go and start an account and just go put $50 in it, $50, and just try it out. See what it does. That's not financial advice. If you can't rub $50, you need life advice. Like you need someone needs to sit you down and, you know, look at all the crap you bought and go, I can see why, and then just reset. We've all been there. I've had to do multiple resets in my life, but I'll tell you what, at a certain point, I woke up, and one of my wake ups was a list like this with stocks that I had bought, you know, price line at $2, sold it at $3, thought I was a baller. And now 20 years later, it's $1,900 or $2,100. Yeah, I should have held on to that. But you know what's crazy about all these stocks? Unlike all these stocks with cryptos, you can make money not in dividends, but in yield, like Ethereum, things like that. Right now, RLUSD. You go put that on an exchange, just let it sit there. They're going to pay you like 4.5%, 5.5% in yield per year. You getting that in your bank account? Why wouldn't you start one of those accounts and just go put $100 in there and say, I'm making 5 times the amount of interest that I'm making in my savings account right now. So keep $500 savings account, put $100 in one of these accounts. Again, this is not financial advice. It's life advice. Try something new. Go small. Don't go big. I saw a comment the other day. This is crazy. And my heart goes out to this person. I don't mean to embarrass this person, but nobody's going to know who you are. But it's a subscriber. And again, thank you to everyone that's been hitting the subscribe button. Channel's been blowing up. And this isn't like subscribers. This is Ninja Nation right here. People that are prepared, not scared. They're charging the mound. You guys have been getting ready for this. And you deserve this pump. And you're going to get another pump in 2025. You just wait. But my point being is that the gentleman said, yeah, I bought XRP off your recommendation, which I didn't say go buy it. I just said, or he puts a good clip of money into it. I said buy $20, $50 worth. He bought it at like $2.80 and he sold it at $2.20. I'm like, why the heck would you sell it? And he said in his comment, he goes, well, hopefully it goes back up, but it's just not for me right now. I sat on a tricycle and told everyone it's going to go down. The price is going to crash here. Get ready for it. I'm not going to sell mine. I'm going to buy more, as a matter of fact. And I did. I bought on the dip, went down to the bank, transferred money, and I bought. That's not the winning attitude, but the truth is, that's how I used to do things. That's why I lost my butt in stocks in the early 2000s. I lost all this money that I built up from real estate. I swore I'd never do it again. And so all I'm doing is investing based off of not my conscience, off of my brain. I'm using real fundamentals. Hey, this is going away. Hey, banks are buying it. Hey, it's expanding. The government tried to smack it down and they got spanked. I mean, I don't know what to tell people. So anyway, I hope you got something out of this. This is incredible news. You're gonna what you guys see in 2025 with crypto is going to blow your mind. But again, I did not put all my money into it. I've just been, remember I told you, all right, here, there's something. A year ago, I told you about my cash position. Type cash, if you guys remember me talking about this, where I said how important it is to keep cash on the sides when deals come out, right? And when last September, I did a video of why I bought back all my XRP plus some. And at that point, it was because, see, people are typing cash. I remember this because you need to deploy it at the right time. I took 50% of my cash hoard and I pushed it into XRP in September. To say that I'm happy right now is an understatement. Do I still like have those nights in the middle of the night I wake up and I'm like, I wish I'd have bought it all. Yeah, I do. But I keep that smack down because it could have went the other way too. And so in a little bit, I've told everyone there's a point where I'm going to sell back twice as much of my entire investment in XRP. All right. I have a dollar amount that I'm going to do that at. It's going to happen in 2015. I'm going to announce when it happens. And the XRP price is going to keep going up. I know it sounds crazy, but when you double your money, if you're not pulling back your original money or you're tripling your money, you're not pulling back, you're losing. You're going to lose. You know, I told you about some stocks I bought like 2 years ago and they 10x or 15x. And I took those and I put that in XRP. I transferred my precious metals mining stocks into that because I saw that thing happen. I got laughed at by a bunch of people in Vancouver. Who's laughing now? Oh, well. It's like an awkward moment. All I hear is crickets. Can you hear the crickets? Thank you guys for everyone that's been supporting the channel by subscribing. Everybody that saw that video, if you missed it, 2 emails, 2 newsletters ago, it was at the bottom for 2 or 3 days. It's at the bottom, that unlisted video. I'm going to start researching it and doing videos about it. It's a crypto project that's very intriguing. There's a lot of secrecy around it. It's been out for, the token's been running live since 2022. The company that started it has been going since 2014 and has a lot of ties into the banking sector. So you're going to see me start talking about it. I'm going to be calling on a bunch of people in the crypto world to help me expose if this thing's legit or fake, because it's tripping me out. But I went ahead and made a little investment, and I know a lot of you did too. So I'm excited to see what happens with that in 2025. We could lose all our money. That crap could happen. But we're going to find out who's behind this project. They're going to really not like hearing that the ninja's coming. All right, with that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.